The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Saturday's news. In this edition, Bismarck Sea volcano still active, leaders welcome court decision, and Chiefs recruitment heads to the UK. The Titan Ridge submarine volcanic eruption in Manus province, which first erupted on May the 8th, is still active. Principal Geodetic Surveyor at the Rabaul Volcano Observatory, Steve Saunders, shared that they plan to have a research crew soon to analyze and assess the eruption site, conduct a mapping exercise of the seabed, and collect data, among others. The ongoing submarine volcanic activity in the north-central Bismarck Sea is 75 kilometers away from Baluan and Low Island and 100 kilometers away from the mainland Manus. It is quite remote out at sea. However, activity is still ongoing and people and vessels have been cautioned not to travel there. Principal Geodetic Surveyor at the Rabaul Volcano Observatory, Steve Saunders, in a phone interview with TVWAN News, said the volcanic activity is active, including an earthquake yesterday.
Activity is still going on. It seems to have subsided a bit. There's less fuming at the moment, but it's still producing pumice, so there's quite a big spread of pumice there. Earthquake-wise, there'd been no earthquakes there since the 17th, but there was one, not actually right at the site, but near it, yesterday evening of 5.7. which is possibly to do with the volcano just changing the stress regime locally. Interestingly, there's hydroacoustic sensors which listen for noise in that position, seem to show an unusual signal just before that earthquake, which could have been an underwater lava flow forming, but it was only a slight signal, which is interesting for us. Other parameters, satellite imagery, particularly the ones when it's clear, are showing there's no land there yet. It's still completely submarine with just pumice blocks floating to the surface, and when they get to the surface they continue to steam.
Saunders shared that they plan to go inspect the site soon at the area, which is north central of the Bismarck Sea, between 500 and 700 meters deep, and a very complex area.
We're not sure the word is escalated up the line of via the MRA management and the National Disaster Centre's office, and they've sent it all now to the PNG Defence Force. So it now has to be okayed and a boat readied, etc., and we get a timetable together. So we don't know yet, but we've got our bags packed and ready to go. There'll be a couple of us going, and disaster officers from East New Britain and Manus.
Furthermore, when asked whether monitoring systems in Papua New Guinea are strong enough to detect major volcanic events in the future, Saunders shared that they are improving every day with the rollout of bunkers with seismometers and ground deformation tools. These instruments are designed to detect, measure, and record the vibrations and movements of the Earth's surface.
It's improving all the time. At the moment, we're rolling out bunkers with seismometers and ground deformation tools and sometimes webcams to all what we call the high-risk volcanoes. At the moment, there's one being built on Kaka, and soon there will be some monitoring of Kadaba, which has been a problem because, again, that's very remote and there's no mobile phone network there for us to link into. We usually use that to transfer data. But we're improving all the time, and a big plus these days is remote sensing. Satellite images showing plumes, hotspots, gas plumes, etc. We're in touch. First of all, we use readily available sites that we're allowed to tap into, and we can look at ourselves. But there's other groups overseas who watch those things 24 hours a day, and they can actually afford to pay for commercial images, which are much better. So we're in constant contact with overseas people as well, who 24 hours they supply us with information that we can't get.
The Rabaul Volcano Observatory warns that the eruption can trigger a tsunami and has warned local fishermen and vessels to be on alert. Saunders says while a tsunami is not certain, the risk cannot be overlooked. Principal Geodetic Surveyor at the Rabaul Volcano Observatory, Steve Saunders, shared that the Titan Ridge submarine volcanic eruption in the Bismarck Sea near Manus has the potential to trigger a tsunami.
The main danger is the threat of a tsunami. It's not a certainty. We're telling people not to panic. It's just at the moment the risk of a tsunami is higher. There's two things that may happen. One thing is that the volcano reaches the surface and you start getting some explosive activity. Again, that will produce small tsunamis, and the communities may notice them, but they don't really produce a threat. They'll be like less than a meter high. But if there's a flank collapse, as it's a new cone that's formed, it's just formed up from a pile of lava and debris that have fallen off the lava. So the flanks are just like a pile of sand. So there is a possibility of a landslide, submarine landslide, which may cause a bigger tsunami. And the size of the tsunami will depend on how much material moves.
He shared that it is not a foregone conclusion, but people should prepare for any tsunami alert issued.
This is not an alert, but if there is a proper alert, they should move to high ground quickly, and they should take a moment at the moment to talk to their family and communities, church groups or schools or village or whatever, and just talk amongst themselves and say where they would go and where they would meet. Because we found in the past a lot of the problems that happen after a tsunami alert, even if it's a false alarm, is that communities get split up and it takes a long time for them to reform. Quite often children go missing. So it's a good time now to talk amongst your community to confirm what your community will do in an emergency.
Saunders confirmed that they are not aware of when the volcanic activity will end.
The eruption is continuing. It's at a steady state at the moment. There's pumice floating to the surface causing a steam plume. So the eruption is continuing. As I say, it's a natural phenomenon. So it depends on how big the source of the magma is, where it's coming from. The magma is lava underground, has been stored somewhere in fractures or something like that. So the length of time the eruption continues will depend on how big that storage area is. So it may stop tomorrow, it may go on for a few years, but we've got no way of telling at the moment.
Prime Minister James Marape has joined French President Emmanuel Macron in Paris for a special visit to the Plumes of Paradise exhibition. The exhibition celebrated PNG's cultural heritage at one of Europe's leading museums.
Prime Minister James Marape toured the exhibition on Thursday night. It highlighted the artistic and ceremonial traditions of the Bed of Paradise and the Melanesian culture. Marape said the exhibition is not only about feathers or artifacts, but about the identity, spirit, and creativity of Papua New Guinea people. Prime Minister noted that the timing was meaningful as PNG is in its 50th year of independence. He stressed that the nation's greatest assets are its people, languages, traditions, forests, and oceans. Marape thanked President Macron and the French government for recognizing PNG's cultural importance on the world stage. He said culture builds bridges between nations, creating understanding and respect. The Plumes of Paradise exhibition is part of Prime Minister Marape's official visit to France, aimed at strengthening ties in trade, climate cooperation, education, and cultural exchange. Ruth Rongala, TVWAN News.
You're watching TVWAN News. We'll have the day's other stories after the break. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
Hiya, Mama.
You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Cocoa, get up and big smile on face. Time cook him chicken, a great kumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, P&G and Mia. Buying P&G made.
Kids in Papua New Guinea love to smile and spread joy. And when they smile, it lights up our world. Come on, Mom, it's you first. Do the 1, 2, 3. Wake up. Brush your teeth. Smile. Let's spread some smiles in P&G with Colgate.
Thanks for staying with us. The Koyari Local Level Government Special Purpose Authority has reaffirmed its commitment to empowering women in small business, presenting funding to 2 associations on the Sogeri Plateau. 20,000 kina was delivered to the women's groups in Koyari this week. The Maninumu Women's Group and the Sogeri Floriculture Association each received 10,000 kina to strengthen their ventures and build economic confidence for family livelihoods. KSPA says it will continue to empower women and support key sector agencies to bring lasting development to the Koyari people. Gulf Province may soon have its first prison facility following a national court ruling in Kerema. Finance Minister and member for Kerema Thomas Opa has welcomed the decision, saying it gives them the push they need to take the project to the national level and try to secure resources needed for this to be built.
A long-standing gap in Gulf's justice system is now being spotlighted after a human rights application by 75 Gulf prisoners currently held at Bomana in Port Moresby. For decades, the province has had no prison facility, forcing detainees processed in Gulf to be transferred to the capital. Opa, along with the member for Kikori and Gulf Governor, was summoned to appear in the National Court presided over by Justice Mibiri, where the detainees argued they should be held closer to home, citing family separation and human rights concerns.
They wanted to be closer to their families, and I think as part of the human rights, that's something that needs to be considered, and it's a valid concern. For me as member for Kerema, I respect the court's decision.
A proposed site at Mupa between Malaloa and Kerema has already been identified for the prison project, with discussions ongoing between government and customary landowners.
And we will identify the landowners. We'll work with the landowners as we go through the process of acquiring that particular customary land into state land. And that's been ongoing. So once you acquire the state land, then you can be able to go into securing the funds. At the moment, we can't secure the funds simply because the land remains customary land, yeah.
With parties expected to report back in October, Hopper said the court ruling has now fast-tracked efforts, giving them the leverage needed to secure national funding and finally deliver a long overdue correctional facility for Gulf Province.
All the provinces and districts all competing for very scarce resource, but we are thankful that the court has made those orders, and this has now prompted us to prioritize, go to the national government and say, look, there's a court order, our hands are tied, and we need assistance in this regard. Yeah.
He said the focus now will be on securing land funding and meeting the court's deadline. Gulf leaders are expected to return to court in October with progress updates on the project. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News.
Work to establish a rural lockup facility in Kerma district in the Gulf Province is already well advanced, with approvals, funding and construction processes already in place, well before a recent national court order to build a permanent prison in the province. Member for Kerma and Finance Minister Thomas Oppa said the district has been progressing a 5 million kina rural lockup project in Malalawa aimed at strengthening law and justice services at the local level, while longer-term plans for a full correctional facility unfold.
The Finance Minister revealed this following a court order for the provincial government and the districts to come together and start work on a prison facility for the province. In welcoming this order, Hopper said at the district level, steps had already been taken to address this gap.
The good thing is, unbeknown to many, we've already started work. It took us almost 12 to 18 months trying to do this work, and we actually this week or next week we were going to sign the MOA with the correctional services for the implementation of this project. So in this space we've already done some work. So I'm glad that the media the court has put a spotlight on the court proceedings and the court orders, and so what's going to happen is that short term we will build a rural lockup.
He said the rural lockup project for his district will be built at Malalawa and has passed through all key government processes.
We've progressed. It's gone to State Soil for clearance. It's gone to the Authority to Pre-Commit APC committee, which is chaired by the Secretary for Treasury. That's been approved. State Soil has approved this one. We've gone to the District Procurement Committee. We've got the approvals. The sites have been identified. So we're actually in the progress of constructing the rural lockup facility.
Hopper said the facility forms part of a broader plan to improve coordination between police, courts and correctional service. Under the model being developed, suspects will be arrested and charged at nearby police stations. Cases will be processed through district courts, and convicted offenders will serve time locally in the rural lockup.
We already have a district courthouse in Malala, but that is undesirable because it's far away from the police station. So what we want to do is like a one-stop shop. You put the police manpower in one place. They arrest and charge. The detainees go to court, and if they're found guilty, and they straight go into the rural lockup. So that's what we are doing for.
The project falls under a broader national rural lockup initiative led by the Correctional Service, which aims to expand detention infrastructure in undeserved districts. He said the district had successfully secured funding through a competitive process.
There was a process to get it. It's not that easy, even though I'm the finance minister. That doesn't give me any right to get funds just like that. Our team has to put in proposals to the correctional services to secure the funding, and the process was a tedious process for us to go to the APC, the Authority to Pre-Commit, chaired by the Secretary for Treasury, get the clearance from State Soil, go to the District Procurement Tender, get the contract out, get the designs done, get all those things done, and then be able to award the contract. So that's been done.
While the rural lockup will provide immediate relief, it is not intended to replace a full prison facility. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News.
Up next in sports, the PNG Chiefs recruitment team is in the UK in search of talent. That story and more after these short messages.
Banking is felt out of reach for many. But now, PSP's One-Talk Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at PSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. PSP's One-Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
Coal-powered Citrus Blast uses stain-fighting active particles to remove dirt, grease and stains from your family's washing with less scrubbing and rubbing, reducing wear and tear and saving you time. Coal-powered Citrus Blast has an amazing citrus fragrance that gives that extra freshness that will last all day long.
You have to meet my best friend. She's the sweetest. Hey, check out my hair.
Which one? The one on your head or the one in the sink? Relax. Next time, just use the Mega Growth Anti-Damage Relaxer. It's infused with wonder oils and conditioning proteins for visibly less hair breakage after retouching. Now your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Mega Growth Anti-Damage No Light Cream Relaxer for visibly less hair breakage after retouching.
Thanks for staying with us. In today's Digicel ExxonMobil Cup competitions across the country, the Kandes claimed a solid 32-20 victory over Asila Wagi Tumbe at John Ambane Oval, finishing strongly after a competitive first half. At Queen Elizabeth Park, ENB Egmark Gurriers and Enga Miox shared the points in a thrilling 24-24 draw, with neither side able to find a late winner. Meanwhile, the Wampna Mount Hagen Eagles defended their home ground convincingly, defeating Galfiso 30-14 to secure an important win. The rest of round 7 matches will be played tomorrow to conclude the round. With 2 NRL players already signed by the Chiefs, the recruitment has now extended up north with a team currently in the United Kingdom, meeting the Chiefs head coach Willie Peters and speaking to PNG players in the Super League there. PNG Chiefs CEO Lorna McPherson and General Manager Michael Chalmers are now in the UK and have confirmed meeting PNG players there.
Lining up again here, but it goes behind him.
Chalmers attended Thursday night's Hull KR match against Wigan, whose coach Willie Peters will take charge of the Chiefs in their debut season. Kumul's captain Rice Martin plays for Hull KR. Chalmers and McPherson were expected to meet with the quarter of Kumul's players at Lee and includes Lachlan Lamb, Edwin Ipape, Liam Owen and Jacob Ali, and 6 PNG players at London Broncos. NRL.com reports that Kumul's coach Jason Demetrio, who is in charge of the London Broncos, has urged Chalmers to sign fullback Morea Morea, 5'8" Garo Voro, centers Alex Max and Robert Mathias, playmaker Finley Glary and prop Apple Capinius. Meantime, Chalmers, in speaking to Love Rugby League, heaped praise on Willie Peters and his current club, Hull KR. Peters is the inaugural head coach of the Chiefs and will depart Hull KR at the end of this season to begin his duties in this role. The Chiefs will enter the NRL at the start of the 2028 campaign, but Peters and his colleagues, including Chambers, will devote next year to ensuring the franchise is ready to go when the time comes.
After securing high-profile signings in Jerome Luai and Kumul star Alex Johnston, attention has now shifted who will become the PNG Chiefs' third recruit. With the excitement, some PNG NRL fans also add their preference players.
The hunt is currently on for PNG Chiefs player 003 and other numbers up. Sydney Roosters utility corner Watson recently visited the PNG Chiefs facilities at Airways in Port Moresby, where he spoke positively about the setup. While no deal has been confirmed, he indicated that the possibility of joining the club remains open. With the excitement, some PNG NRL fans also air their preference players to join their home team.
Expression view blow me, all Chiefs lo Papua New Guinea by play long, 2028 long NRL. Tugla man all selecting finish and all backline, but me like him all play forward, all my selecting. I say you, temporary captain, and me believe was some Chiefs lo Papua New Guinea system on board. And Bell be more long forward, and one can also London Broncos, he make him now all wish long play highlight last set.
Jerome Luai, Sunny finish, I'm meeting him next option and Connor Watson. Why? Because Connor Watson never can play finish and looking place. One name up on chief players for base them and looking finish. I'm looking until time looking out line. How much no welcome them? No kind of them. And atmosphere go right to them, but start so.
Plenty on NRL stars or superstars or interested lo come joining PNG Chiefs na some contract will expires during 2027 or 28 percent, so you got plenty chance lo all become sign one them PNG Chiefs.
Players are reportedly drawn to the Chiefs for several reasons, including competitive tax-free salaries, an opportunity to help build a new franchise from the ground up, and the broader mission of driving positive social impact across the Pacific. The recruitment drive continues both regionally and internationally, with Chiefs executives actively engaging players across major rugby league competitions. Michael Tamtipai's TVWAN Sports.
And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Regional forecast. Southern, Port Moresby partly cloudy with evening drizzle. Daru partly cloudy with brief showers. Momase Lay cloudy with rain showers. Wewak partly cloudy. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau and Kavieng partly cloudy. And Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods, then some rain showers. Saturday's news ends on that note. Thanks for your company. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
Every growing child needs the best care to help them grow physically, socially, intellectually, and emotionally. That's why I choose Tender Care. It keeps skin clean and fresh and is hypoallergenically tested for gentle and safe protection. So my child can be protected for all of life's adventures. Tender Care.
Central Province is our home.
The tides of the Coral Sea are our heartbeat. From the coast to the mountains,
Traditions pass generation to generation.
The sea and our gardens sustain us.
Our songs carry our legends through time.
Our home is Central Province. Our nation is Papua New Guinea.
Are you ready to get accelerated up? Freeway Motors got the hottest coffee tray Land Cruiser you've been searching for. Fully kitted diesel engine Toyota Land Cruiser dual cab. Adjustable steer, AM, FM, and Bluetooth for your entertainment and more. It's now or never. Hurry! Come into our 4-mile branch to inspect this beauty and get blown away and live with a powerful, stylish, open-back Land Cruiser and drive in style.
From our homes, where every morning starts with a taste we all love. A taste that holds memories and sheds stories. A taste that can bring friends together. Made with care and loved in every corner of PNG. Inspired by our champions and rooted by our family values. Snacks, so crunchy and tasty, it's irresistible.